Hello everyone, this is Yana here at Spellbinders and thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'll show you how to create an elegant card featuring a lot of layers and dimension using several dies from the Renaissance Jubilee collection from Stacey Karen for Spellbinders. I'm going to be using Labels 46 dies with Scalloped Labels 46 and also Tuscany strip die, and finally the framed Labels 46 die templates to create my card. So you can see I selected 3 different dies that all coordinate well. I have a basic label shape, a coordinating scalloped shape, and a coordinating frame. Spellbinders has many dies like this one that all work great together and give you stunning results. Let's get started. I'm going to begin by die cutting Tuscany strip die 3 times out of white cardstock. This die is meant to be used as a single strip or a border, but I'm going to die cut several of those to create a filigree-like background. I'm cutting these and also embossing them in my die cutting machine. I've already stamped a beautiful sentiment. I used brown ink and stamped it onto a white cardstock panel. I usually use black, but for this card, black would have been too dark, so I went with brown. I'm going to use Labels 46 die and will cut this shape out in my machine. I'm also embossing it to add some detail. Next, I'm using the label die out of the framed Labels 46 set and cutting it and also embossing it again out of same white cardstock. Lastly, I'm going to die cut the frame from the framed Labels 46 and the scalloped Label 46 out of gold mirror cardstock to add a pop of gold to my project. I don't want to have too much gold, but I also don't want this project to feature just white colors, so this is why I'm adding gold. If you don't have gold, you can also use a light pink or peach colored cardstock here. Now that we have everything cut, we can start putting our card together. I've already pre-cut a panel of this beautiful pattern paper and I trimmed it to 6 by 6 inches. We're making a large card. The final project will measure 6.5 inches square. I love adding dimension to my cards, so I'm going to use foam adhesive squares to adhere everything down. Usually I use white, but I'm all out, so I'll use black and I will make sure those aren't too visible on my finished card. I grabbed my Spellbinders mat with grid lines and I'm using those to make sure I have everything centered and equally spaced on my card. I'm going to first foam mount the first strip in the middle and we'll go ahead and adhere the other 2 next to it, creating a beautiful filigree overlay on my card. I've trimmed the little pieces hanging off the panel and I adhered it onto a gold mat, just so that there is something to frame the panel with. The rest is very simple. I'm going to continue using foam adhesive to adhere the rest of my die cuts. So I'm first mounting the sentiment label 46 onto the scalloped label 46. Next, foam mounting this onto the other white die cut, and I'm going to foam mount this cluster onto my background. I still have my gold die cut frame here, so I'm going to use the glue pen and will adhere it onto the card. I've tied a large ribbon bow and I'm going to use a hot glue gun to adhere it, and I'm also adding a few white stamens and some paper flowers to have a little floral arrangement on my project. Lastly, I'm going to foam mount this panel onto a card base made out of white cardstock. Like I mentioned, this is a large card, so I had to look for a bigger sheet of cardstock so that I could cut it to the size I need. But you could also make 2 separate pieces that measure 6.5 inches square, add a fold line to one of them, and adhere them together to make a card base that way. Here's a closer look at this card created using Renaissance Jubilee collection by Stacey Karen for Spellbinders. If you're looking for a list of supplies to create this card, you can find it in the video description down below and also in my blog post. Here are a few additional videos featuring Spellbinders dies. Feel free to check them out. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you next time. Bye!